Hey guys, it's Neo Kaiba coming to you with a pretty big news update. The ban list is finally out. Nothing got banned. Not quite a shock. Nothing really needed to get banned. But the limited list grew a little, and horrendously enough, we have Glow Up Bulb back, so the plan engine is fully alive again. Infernity Archfiend went to 1. I'm not too shocked after their performance at Worlds. Raigeki is back, so the one card, just nuke your field, is back. The horrible bolt of lightning. Soul Charge is at 1. I kind of figured this would happen a long time ago. It really didn't need to be at 3. 1 is just fine. I've said that repeatedly. Super Polymerization. Okay, now Super Poly was one that I had mentioned a couple of times hanging out with my playgroup, that with Shaddoll's being the new kind of attribute fusions, that we would be getting Super Poly limited or even banned in some aspect. But it actually happened a lot sooner than I thought. I was expecting it to get hit at some point when the other Shaddall fusions were out. I didn't expect it to happen right away. Semi-limited is Blackwing Gale the Whirlwind, so Gale's at 2. I still don't think Blackwings will be doing much, but, you know, good for them. Gorz the Emissary of Darkness is at 2. Very few decks are actually running Gorz now, with it being such a heavy backfield. Unless you're basically running no traps, you can run 2 Gorz now, so, you know, good for you, I guess. Ceasefire, okay, with Shaddolls being primarily flip effects, Ceasefire kind of makes sense, that they would kind of bring it back. It's kind of that anti-Shaddall card. The Transmigration Prophecy is another one. I didn't really think this card needed to stay banned, in all honesty. It's mediocre at best, being able to put, I think it's 1 or 2 cards from the graveyard back into the deck. From any graveyard, it's okay. Like, I could see it as a side deck against Shaddolls. You can put back their fusion if they've run through all their hedgehogs so they can't search it out. So then they have to naturally draw into fusion. But that's limited and semi-limited. But the unlimited section kind of blew me away at first when I saw it. I'm like, I don't think this is real. Cult Soldier Wolfbark is back to 3, so the +1 Fire Fist is a deck again. Magician of Faith is at 3. This hasn't happened in a long time, guys. I'm very surprised that she's back at 3, but at the same time, you know, she's really not doing anything outside of, like, one particular deck, and she's not even that great in the deck, so whatever. Formula Synchron is at 3. I don't really remember a time when Formula was at 3 anymore. I really don't think 3 Formula Synchron is necessary, but whatever. If you want to run 3 Formula, go ahead. Reinforcement of the Army is the last card that they unlimited. So, you Satellarknight players, you got a bunch of searchers for, like, no reason. 3 Deneb, 3 Rhoda, just... This seems completely fair, don't you think? Now, I'm gonna kind of, like, delve into some of these cards a bit. I mean, Raigeki coming back is kind of... it doesn't do anything against, like, Midrash, or Winda, whatever the hell you want to call her, because Winda can't be destroyed by card effect, so, like, really, if they establish a Winda, you can't Raigeki them. Against certain other decks, like various OTK decks, especially after a Soul Charge play, Raigekiing them is very powerful. I could see it being one card, clear the field just to kind of establish yourself again. And, you know, Gale being at 2, some players are going to have another out to getting over certain monsters. I can see Antimeta using double Gale to just kind of ram over bigger monsters very quickly. Infernity Archfiend. I don't think Infernity is dead. They can easily spam just one Archfiend over and over again. It's not completely unlikely. It will take a while to see it take off, but remember, guys, we still have Triple Armageddon Knight, Foolish Burial, Dark Grepher, so it won't be that difficult to toss him into the graveyard. I mean, yeah, if they DD Crow him, you go Leviair, bring him back. You have no cards in hand, you just start your search anyway. So I don't think it's entirely dead. It's still viable. The Synchro Plant decks might just make a comeback. With Glow Bulb and Spore back, I mean, it's we're gonna see Synchro Plants somewhere in some form, in some way, eventually. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like they start teching Glow Bulb in Yang Zings just as that extra 1-star tuner. It also being a dark, you have various outs to other plays and other monsters even. And you know, come to think of it, if you Glow Up Bulb and you have a full of 7 stars on the field, not including a synchro monster you've already made with your Yang Zings, and you make a Beals, like if you make it unaffected by traps, then that means you can't deprison or compulse it, and that's pretty nasty now that I think about it. Soul Charge going to 1, you know, it's been talked about heavily forever. I've even talked about how it can just, you know, be ran at 1 in every deck and it'd be totally fine. Now with its inclusion going to 1, it's just going to be a staple in every deck. Every deck is going to want to run 1 Soul Charge. Just as the fact that it's that 1 card out and it creates so much advantage. Not nearly as much advantage as some people think in certain decks, but some decks get the benefit of it a lot more than others. So, like, I wouldn't throw out Sylvans being a deck. They're still pretty good. Even without going, you know, Soul Charge into Lone Fire into Soul Charge to Lone Fire again, to create this ridiculous field. Like, it's still a viable deck. They're really good and really powerful. I won't be seeing Formula Synchron run at 3 in any deck. It's stupid. It takes up way too much space, as is, and a lot of the synchro decks aren't really running it anymore. I mean, you've got Yang Zings floating around. They don't go into 2 all that often. I rarely see them go into anything lower than 5. In all honesty, I haven't even seen them go to 4. If they did, it would be well, probably it would be Balmug. Balmug will be getting the most versatility in that deck, just as if it's destroyed by card effect, you get a level 3 or level 4 or lower, which basically means that you float into another floater to float into more floaters to create more synchro plays. And really, that's the only synchro deck I see floating around in the current meta. I don't see Fables in any major tournament or league. Aside from just like kitchen table Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't see it anywhere else in competitive play. X-Sabers are almost non-existent at this point. I don't see why. They're a pretty strong Xyz deck. It's just that nobody plays them. It's just not one of those decks you see. Yeah, the old style of hero decks are gonna be sorry I'm moving this around, guys. But the old style of hero decks are gonna be kind of like torn apart now with Super Poly at 1, but that's okay. Like, they really didn't need Super Poly. It was just kind of like that extra out that they needed. And I mean, whenever Shadow Mist comes to the TCG, people are gonna like not run Super Poly anyways, because in that new hero deck you don't need Super Poly. You end up going through Mass Change more than you would ever go through Super Polys, and then your Miracle Fusions are just your game enders. So really, it's almost non-existent as an inclusion, so you don't even need it. Sorry if I'm not making any sense. I've been kind of sleeping all day, and it's always fun waking up to some amazing Yu-Gi-Oh! News. Anyways, guys, that's been kind of like a little rant on it. As to some of these cards, and like I don't really see the meta changing. You're gonna see a couple of 1-0s thrown around in decks. Like I've got my own copy of Regeki just laying around. I might throw that into something. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna see how the meta turns out for the next couple of days. Anyways, guys, this has been Neokaiba signing out.